There's a very hidden but notable danger when it comes to Twitch and content creation in general that not many people are talking about, and it all stems from wanting to be the best version of yourself on whatever platform you decide to create content on. I'm sure that if you spent any amount of time trying to grow and improve as a content creator or Twitch streamer or similar, you've heard at least something similar to this following quote. When you're not practicing, somebody else is getting better. And most of us can be like, yeah, I get behind that. That's because these quotes are meant to be motivators. They inspire those not doing anything to take action and become the person they're dreaming about being. Many people have dedicated themselves to improving and have experienced large amounts of growth as a result of their dedication and motivation received from hearing similar advice. However, within these quotes lies a hidden danger, and it's unfortunately one that I have a lot of experience with. And it's a danger that can literally kill you. First off, a little bit of background information. Growing on Twitch is in many ways like treating yourself as a business. You have to produce good content, find ways for people to reach that content, and diversify that content so you reach as many people in its markets as possible, all while trying to monetize that content. It's entrepreneurial in many aspects. It focuses on individual successes and failures. You are the one responsible for your business, or in this case, your Twitch streaming content creation flow. I'm currently studying business entrepreneurship in my college, which means that I've had more than a fair share of seeing people with an entrepreneurial mindset, so to speak, in my day-to-day life. And if you've researched anything about owning a solo business, starting up your own, or similar, you'll notice that the one common factor amongst every single one of these people is that they are insanely driven and motivated. They're pouring in hours upon hours into their business, often exceeding the amount the average American works by a very large margin, sometimes even double or greater than double the 40 hours a week American standard. It's hard to deny that these people have a drive that not many can match. With this drive, however, comes a very real threat of a problem that isn't often discussed: overworking. A common phrase thrown around is, don't overwork yourself, especially to those doing anything time-intensive. Oftentimes, working is synonymous with another word you've probably heard a lot: burnout. However, there's a very subtle distinction when it comes to the definition of these two words, at least in my personal opinion. Burnout is when you do a particular activity for a long time or in such intensity that when you reach a certain point, you feel your creativeness and ability to fully interact with that opportunity is dramatically decreased, causing you to not feel any enjoyment for what you used to. Overworking, on the other hand, means engaging in work-related activities so often to the point where your body starts to receive a very physical toll. There is often a physical toll associated with burnout as well, such as a lack of drive, tiredness, etc. But when it comes to overworking, not many people realize that there are very real and extremely threatening consequences when it comes to overworking. An article published by Inc.com, which I'll have linked below, details a few stories of prominent CEOs and hardworking entrepreneurs suffering as a result of their overworking habits. The author interviewed these people and asked them what their biggest regret was. It's a small sample size, but they all essentially had the same answer. They all regret ignoring the symptoms of physical and mental exhaustion for so long that their bodies broke down. There are stories on this article of people fainting, collapsing, being in pain, having new conditions and exacerbating pre-existing ones, and even dying. No, that isn't an exaggeration. Working yourself to death is a real thing, and commonly in the entrepreneurial world, people are sacrificing their health just to put in the last little touches of what they want to get done. So you may be asking, sure, that sounds bad, but how do CEOs passing out relate to me as a person that streams on Twitch and plays video games? And the answer to that question is way more than you think. The tales of these entrepreneurs and the neglection of their health is the main point I want to drive home in this video. Like I said earlier on, being a content creator is treating yourself like a business, especially in American work culture, where hours put in equals value or dedication to your craft. It's almost like a misery measuring contest where whoever's sacrificing the most of themselves to their work is a sort of winner in the eyes of everyone else for their insane work ethic and dedication. This often comes with the price of getting little sleep, or not having free time, or something else to make it like you're extremely dedicated to what you want to do. And in content creation especially, there are a lot of parallels between being an entrepreneur and content creation. With these parallels come all of the benefits and drawbacks. You're working on your own time, you hold a certain value of yourself, and if others see that value, They pay for your goods and services, whether in content creation it be donations to show support, subscribing, paying you for an editing job or a video, the list goes on. But you also get that tendency to work extremely hard and be dedicated to constantly improving your reach and ability to grow, especially right now because of the constant competitiveness you face in the content creation market, especially Twitch. You have to work hard to make a living from Twitch or YouTube, or whatever content creation platform you happen to choose. And that spurs people to put in insane amounts of effort to improve their channels and reach, which is commendable. But those same health risks come as well. With more work comes more stress, and with more stress comes more health problems, and more health problems could have potentially catastrophic adverse health effects. And those are the types of problems you face by overworking yourself trying to make a career out of content creation. This isn't meant to fearmonger, just make you aware of the types of problems that are very real threats when you get too absorbed in your work. So then the question arises, how do I continue to pursue this field while maintaining my personal health? It seems oxymoronic to maintain a work-life balance while trying to enter a field surrounded by those slaving entire days away for their work. But trust me, such a balance exists and is attainable. I'll have another article linked below that details signs of burnout to watch out for so you can stop while you're ahead. And using that article, I'll detail some of the things you can watch out for to make sure you aren't overworking yourself or suffering from burnout. First things first, have you lost a passion or drive for what you want to do? Now, it's easy to confuse enjoyment and passion. You might not be currently enjoying what you want to do, but you still continue to do it if you have that innate drive and motivation to do it, if you know the end product will be something you enjoy. But if you have no drive at all for an activity you previously loved to do, and no drive to do that activity at all, then it may suggest you're in burnout territory. And sometimes it's good to take a fair break from something so that way when you come back to something, you find that you're passionate about it again. The second thing, do you find you have increased irritability, anger, or even signs of anxiety and depression? All of these signs point to burnout and also have feelings of lost control due to getting too absorbed in your work and not receiving the results you might be expecting for the amount of effort put in. And I can't stress this enough. If either your anxiety or your depression reaches serious levels, seek professional help immediately. Your personal health and well-being is way more important than any amount of work you could be doing. And the third thing is, are you often feeling lots of physical fatigue, pain, insomnia, or other noticeable physical symptoms apart from your mental state? This one isn't as common, especially because more often than not, content creation isn't that physical of a field. But you can still receive physical stress-related symptoms that stem from burnout. The most common of these is insomnia due to constantly being worked, and that in itself can result in many other problems such as forgetfulness, irritability, and lack of concentration. Of course, there are other things to watch out for as well, and again, I'll have that article linked in the description. I highly suggest you check it out. To wrap this up, I just want to stress this again. Your mental and physical well-being is way more important than getting an extra marginal amount of work done. When it comes to your health, it might be easy to overlook it as a once-off just to get one assignment done or one video done. But it could turn into a consistent habit that severely affects your ability to succeed. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. And as always, know that no amount of work is worth sacrificing potentially your entire well-being for.